Volcanoes are among the most extreme places on Earth. Deep inside them, temperatures rise high enough to melt solid rock. Anything that falls in seems to disappear without a trace. So this raises a strange and tempting question. What if volcanoes could solve our global trash problem? Humanity produces an unimaginable amount of waste every year. From plastic and metal to hazardous and industrial materials, our trash keeps piling up faster than we can deal with it. At first glance, volcanoes look like the perfect solution. They are incredibly hot, naturally destructive, and capable of breaking down almost anything we throw inside. But using volcanoes as garbage disposal sites is far more complicated and dangerous than it sounds. Let's start with the scale of the problem. Every year, the world produces billions of tons of waste. Even a single country can generate hundreds of millions of tons annually. To make volcano dumping work, we would need to transport massive amounts of trash continuously. That brings us to the first major challenge: location. There are only about 1,500 potentially active volcanoes on Earth. Most of them are located far from major population centers, often in remote islands, mountains, or unstable regions. Transporting trash across long distances would require trucks, ships, and infrastructure running non-stop. This alone would create enormous carbon emissions, making the solution environmentally questionable from the start. But location isn't the only issue. Not all volcanoes behave the same way. The ideal volcano for this idea would be a shield volcano. These volcanoes erupt slowly and often contain lava lakes, where molten rock remains exposed at the surface. Unfortunately, shield volcanoes are rare. Most of Earth's volcanoes are stratovolcanoes. These are far more violent. They trap gases and pressure underground, and when disturbed, they erupt explosively. Dropping waste into a stratovolcano would be like throwing fuel onto a bomb. Even if we somehow found a perfect shield volcano, the danger wouldn't end there. Volcanic vents are some of the most hostile environments on the planet. They release toxic gases like sulfur dioxide, shoot molten lava into the air, and constantly eject rocks at deadly speeds. Simply approaching a volcanic vent would put workers in extreme danger. And once trash enters the lava, things could become even worse. When cold materials hit molten lava, they can trigger violent reactions. Steam forms instantly, pressure builds, and explosions follow. Scientists have observed small objects causing lava to shoot tens of meters into the air. Now imagine dumping entire truckloads of waste. The explosions could be massive. Lava fragments could be launched far beyond the volcano, turning the surrounding area into a disaster zone. But even if the trash burned without explosions, another major problem remains: pollution. Burning waste without proper filters releases toxic gases into the atmosphere. Plastics, chemicals, and heavy metals would vaporize and spread through the air. Some materials wouldn't fully break down at all. Instead of disappearing, they could be ejected back out during eruptions, contaminating nearby land and water. Hazardous waste would be especially dangerous. Radioactive or chemical materials could spread farther than ever before, creating long-term environmental damage. And then there's the question of efficiency. Volcanoes don't erupt on command. They are unpredictable. Some remain dormant for years or decades. Others erupt violently without warning. Relying on volcanoes would mean trusting one of nature's most unstable systems with one of humanity's biggest problems. On top of all that, the energy released by burning trash in volcanoes would be completely wasted. In controlled incineration plants, that heat can be converted into electricity. With volcanoes, there would be no way to capture it. So when all factors are considered, the danger, the pollution, the cost, and the unpredictability, dumping trash into volcanoes would likely cause more harm than good. What looks like a simple solution turns out to be a recipe for environmental disaster. If humanity wants to deal with its waste problem, we'll need smarter, safer, and more controlled solutions. But that leads to another question. If volcanoes won't work, what about sending our trash somewhere else entirely?